too tall. I can't be in frame. I'm standing up. Perfect seat. Am I in frame now? I get to sit down on the job. Welcome back to the channel, and I just want to first start off with saying a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting both channels, the second channel, More Keep Smiling Adventures, and the main channel, Keep Smiling Adventures. Without that support, this probably wouldn't have happened. But I also want to take a moment just to say thank you to all the people that emailed me, all the people that contacted me, trying to help out with getting me sorted with a bike. There was quite a few people actually, so yeah, thank you very much. The original Sonder Titanium frame that I had, I did break. Alpkit Sonder have been watching this channel for quite a while, and they wanted to get me back on the trail, and they supplied me with a free frame and fork, so huge thank you for that. Now I'll just say, they have given me this frame and this fork, but they have also said they would give me the frame and fork whatever, so they're not paying me to say good things about this frame, or they're not even involved in this video. They just really wanted to get me back on the trails, so thank you so much for gifting me this lovely new titanium version 3 Camino. In this video I want to do a bit of a quick update and a little bit of a first look at the new frame, because although it's the same frame, mine was the original, the first generation. Now I've owned it for about 5 years. I bought it second hand, which is another reason why I'm very grateful for Alpkit to send me this frame, because they didn't have to. They had no warranty with me. So yeah, I'm just hugely grateful. But the first thing I noticed when I pulled this frame out of the box compared to the original one was the weight. This one, it's not an absolutely massive difference, but this one is slightly heavier. I think it was around 300 grams heavier than the original one. Now, I believe there are a few reasons for that, but I think the main one is probably this bike does have a bit more material. Now it has a little bit, it looks like it's got a bit of reinforcements around like the bottom bracket area. It's just a bit bigger. The head tube is slightly longer. It's also tapered, so I guess there's a bit more material there. But the most notable thing with this frame is this top tube is quite a bit longer than the original, which does mean I will be having to change for a slightly shorter stem. I haven't done this yet because this is the first time I've just ridden it, and I just really noticed this moment, like, whoa, this is quite a long bike now. We are going to weigh it in a bit. I never weighed the original as a full bike, so I don't know, but I think it's safe to assume we can just take off the difference from the frame, because it is the exact same build. However, over the last couple of months, since I did the bar swap, I have changed the crankset to some GRX cranks, which I was planning to do for a long time, and I just finally did it. I have put a new SP Dynamo hub on. That was actually when I realized the frame was broken, because I built that wheel, went to test it out, and then I noticed it had cracked. Like I say, like it's exactly the same setup. I'm pretty sure I will have to change the stem to a slightly shorter one. It's currently a 115, and I'll probably put that down to a 110, maybe even a 100, I'm not sure. Building this bike up, it's obviously got a few differences. It does have internal routing. Now, the frame did come with guides, so you could just like push all the cables through, which was fine. Putting the hose through for the rear brake was a little bit more of a challenge, because the guide doesn't really fit into the hose, so I had to put an old gear cable to then put that through to then like pull it through. It was a little bit harder to actually push through the frame. One little top tip that I should have done a little bit earlier is take out the little bolts underneath, so the cable wouldn't get snagged on that. Once I did that, it went a bit easier. The frame and the fork now will take 700 by 50, like that is the compatible, that's what Alpkit say it can take. Now I was already running 700 by 50 the whole time on the V1, but it was a little bit tight. So that extra bit of space, beautiful. So everything did go across pretty much straight from the original to this, apart from I had to change the headset because it's just a different size. And then this is why it's taken me so long to actually get this bike built up, because I didn't realize until the last moment when I was going to do the rear brake that on the V1 it has post mount on the rear. This one, with modern bikes, with every modern bike, it has flat mount, but I have a post mount caliper. So for now I have just got the adapter, which is why it took so long, because like 2 of them got lost in the post and I finally got one. So for now it's just going to be a post mount, but I will have to change this pretty soon to a flat mount caliper, because getting to the higher bolt just in there, it's very close to the frame, so it can't really adjust it very well. So eventually, at some point pretty soon, I will have to change that over to a flat mount caliper, which is kind of funny because I was riding the V1 with a post mount caliper for ages, and then when I finally changed to the Shimano brakes, I finally went, all right, let me do it properly and get the correct calipers. And then before I must have ridden it once or twice, and then I broke the frame, and now I'm back into square one, just reversed. I even reused cables. I literally just took everything and put it on. Now, because this is slightly longer, them cables are a little bit, they're perfect for just riding every day like that, but because I normally have a bar roll bag on there, I think they're going to be a little bit too short. Now, hopefully, once I go to a slightly smaller stem, it might be long enough, but I'm probably going to have to do all the cables again, which I'm not exactly over the moon about, because it is internal and it's not like it's really hard to do, because I do have the little guides that I can just slot through, but it's just a little bit more time consuming. I'll be honest, that's the only thing that I would probably change on this frame. Like if I was building this frame to my spec, I would probably just have the external routed cables. I don't think they look that ugly. I mean, it's slightly cleaner, I guess. It's slightly easier to like mount frame bags and stuff, because you don't have to get around the cables. But time is money, and I do all the maintenance myself, so it's, you know, if I can just stick an outer cable all the way down, I would be fine. The only thing I actually had a little bit of problem is the rear mech cable, this bit coming out from the inside of the frame. Now I got it through the frame, everything was fine, because it, like I said, it did have a guide, but it has this little metal ferrule. And I'm just so used to having this bit of cable a lot longer. Now it doesn't, I think this is the correct way of doing it, but normally you have it a bit longer, but with the angle it was going in, this is the only way I could do it. I think it works, it shifts through all the gears, so I don't think there's any, I think that's how it's meant to be. But yeah, it just felt a bit weird because I had to get this a very certain length. I couldn't have it a little bit longer without the cable sort of bending in a weird way, or it was just a bit of a faff. But apart from that, it's still the same bike. We got the GRX cranks, we got the XT rear mech. It's 11 speed, but I will say the crankset and the chainring and the crankset is actually 12 speed. Now the only reason I did that is because the 11 speed only came in 40 teeth, and I wanted the 38 teeth. I think it's 38. Yes, 38 teeth. The 12 speed came in 38 teeth, and the 12 speed was much cheaper than the 11 speed. So I'm just riding a 12 speed. It's actually got 11 speed chain on. Did check to see like how if I should run a 12 speed or 11 speed chain. A lot of people said run a 12 speed chain, but I just had the 11 speed and I put it on and it was working fine before, so it's working fine now. It's of a mix and match front and rear tyre at the moment, just because I had this Maxxis Rambler 700 by 50 and it still had some life left in it, so I just wanted to use it, while the front is a Schwabi, I don't know how you say it, Schwabi G1 Byte. It's again 700 by 50, but it's on quite a small, narrow rim. It's a Halo white line rim, So it probably comes in more like 48. In terms of how it feels, I haven't really taken it out on like a really long ride, just to ride to here really. It feels exactly the same, it just feels longer. Right now it just feels long. That's the only difference I can really feel. A lot of comments were saying, I have a lot of seat post. Yes, I'm 6'6", I have I'm just legs basically. Like I sit down, I'm normal height. I stand up, I'm not even in frame. Obviously a lot of people were commenting, how far does this go into the frame? Is it too high? Now, because I know that I am just extremely tall, and I also always ride pretty much this bike with a seat tube bag, this is not a short seat post. I deliberately and always do ride a longer seat post. Now, off the top of my head, I think it's 400 mil, but for the people that, how far is it going down? Well, it comes to about here. So it's not like here, it's well and truly down in here, it's about here. But I think we should weigh this bike and see how much it weighs. Let's get rid of the water. If it ever settles. 10.83, so just under 11 kilograms. I think the original Sonder, the original bike should have been about 10.5. Not bad. Again, I want to say a huge thank you for all the support, everyone who wanted to help, everyone who did help. Again, thank you Sonder for sending me this frame of fork. I will do my best not to break this one, but it's definitely going to go on some pretty big adventures. So Sylvia the second. See you in the next one.